Hello, everybody. It's your friend Wade Perry of the Green and Growing podcast, where we bring you content to help you in all areas of your life so that you are not going to end up ripe and rotting. It is my distinct pleasure today to introduce Stephanie Schuenauer. And Stephanie is a 19-year veteran in the homeowners insurance industry. But before we start talking about Stephanie as an insurance agent, I want you to wipe that out of your mind because she is so much more than that. Stephanie is actually what we would call a total risk manager. And I can say that because I've been a client of Stephanie's for quite a number of years. And she has saved us, I can't even begin to tell you how much money by investing in different strategies, tactics, and ways for us to provide better coverage in the event of financial loss, which, Stephanie, I think, would you agree that is the easiest way to describe insurance is protection against financial loss?
Absolutely. You're spot on, Wade.
Okay. So Stephanie, you've been in this business 19 years. You've seen a lot of really smart moves, or really some not so smart moves. What are the, say, three common mistakes that people make when they're buying homeowners insurance?
So I know when people are buying homes, that's what they're focused on is the home. They're so overwhelmed with everything that they have to do. They have a long laundry list for their realtor, for their lender, that when they come to me, they say, I just want you to quote the home. And that is a mistake. If we're not at least looking at, bundling, packaging with the auto, so that means having your home and auto with the same carrier, they're doing themselves a disservice. They're not getting the extra. Right now it's about $300 to $600 average that they get for that bundled package discount. And so
Okay.
I
And
understand they're
so
concerned about the home, but they're
they
missing
could
out.
get a discount by bundling. And I think a lot of people have seen different commercials on TV about that. But
Right.
when we were talking before this, you said that there was another really big benefit as it relates to deductibles if you're bundling. How can people save some money on deductibles with homeowners insurance by going in a bundled package?
So, right off the bat, you're not going to see the difference in the deductible necessarily. But what you are going to get with a lot of carriers is they offer what's called a common or single deductible. So that's saying if you had a common occurrence, let's say fire, you have two vehicles in that garage of your home. If you didn't have a common deductible, well, you could have up to three different deductibles. So that could be well over $2,000 plus. With this singular common deductible, now the carrier says, hey, just pay us the biggest deductible you have, and we're covering all three for that one deductible.
So when you say three deductibles, that would be one for each car and one for the house, any damages.
Right.
But by bundling, they would limit that to just one deductible, the largest of the three, saving you the other
Correct.
two.
Yeah. And that's assuming both vehicles, they have that comprehensive coverage or whatever, but there could be quite a bit of money savings in the event you have a covered loss that hits everything.
Now, there's an example of true value add, saving somebody money when they don't realize what could be saved. And that's why you're a total risk manager and not just somebody that sells insurance. What's another benefit another mistake that people make when they're buying homeowners insurance?
So they do, maybe they start the process a little bit late. Again, I know they had that long list of things to do. Insurance is kind of at the end. A lot of people get rushed and cram it into that last week or 2 weeks before their insurance deadline.
Mm,
Sometimes that's not enough time to get an advanced quote discount. You might be missing on a discount. In today's hard market, your home may not qualify. The roof might be too old, the home might be too old, it might be in a wildfire area. So, time is of the essence. So
okay,
people
so
need to think
we'll,
of
we'll,
insurance earlier.
we'll come back to timing in just a minute. Um, should people shop around for homeowners insurance, or should they just go to one guy? Is there a difference between an insurance broker versus like a big box store that you see advertised on TV? Well, are there benefits to shopping around?
Absolutely. So each carrier is different. Every carrier has a different rate. If we all had the same, then I don't know that there'd be a whole lot of choice. But
Okay.
so definitely, get at least two quotes. You don't have to get three, maybe three. There's going to be different coverages that might be offered per carrier. There might be different required deductibles. Um, you know, again, it's just you're going to have more options by shopping around, seeing what is available somewhere else that maybe fits you better.
Sure. And when you say shopping carriers, by being with a total risk manager like yourself, are you able to pair, say, homeowners from one carrier with auto with another carrier?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
So that's the great thing about my job is we have, again, multiple carriers I work with versus going to captive agent who's going to be maybe like your State Farm, Farmers, where they have maybe not as many products as we do. They typically only have
sure.
their brand, their carrier.
Well, and State Farm, Farmers, Nationwide, Liberty Mutual, all these companies, they're great companies and they provide great
Right.
services. However, they don't have the advantage of working with a total risk manager like yourself that can customize the best coverage at the best premium across a wide array of different products. It's really tough to be the best at all things to all people. Is that fair to say?
Very fair.
Okay. Um, is there another hidden benefit or I should say not a benefit, is there another common mistake that people make when shopping for insurance? Do they get focused on one thing instead of the whole picture?
They do. And that's the obvious, the money, the premium. They may not look at that whole entire quote and they get to the bottom line that says how much it's going to be. And that's the only thing they look at. They don't look at what coverages am I getting, not getting, what is my deductible. That's huge. People don't even look at that. They just look at final money going out number
I
instead of
think that in
what am I
today's
covered for.
society, that's a really good point. And the analogy I would be is that people go to the grocery store these days and they see that bottom number and they get stressed out because it's a really big number at the grocery store. And then they look in the basket and they say, God, that much money for this is all I got. Imagine if they took the exact same philosophy to insurance and they looked at the premium, but then said, oh, what do I get for that premium? Be a different conversation.
That would be a different conversation. That'd be a lovely conversation to have.
Okay. So just to make sure that I've got this straight and I've got it straight for everybody out there, common mistakes that people make when they're shopping for insurance, they don't look into bundling because they could end up with some lower deductible amounts. They also could benefit from a single deductible from a multiple catastrophe event. And they focus only on premium instead of what is the financial reward at the end.
Right.
Fair to say? Okay.
Fair to
So
say.
let's say that somebody's saying, okay, great, I'm buying a house or, I need to look at my insurance. How early in the process should people be engaging with you?
So if they're buying a house, as soon as they're under contract, say, reach out to me. Again, you might be busy, you might not be able to get me all the information I need right away. We might have some of those underwriting issues, wildfire areas,
Mhm.
something is going on. And again, that advance quote discount. You just want to shop as early as you possibly can.
It's interesting, and maybe this applies, but I I tell clients of ours in real estate that if you are forced to make a decision that's a really significant decision in the home buying process, like during an inspection objection or any other big negotiation like the appraised value, if they only have a short amount of time to make that decision, they get stressed. And when people get stressed, they don't make good decisions. So if I'm hearing you right, people should be engaging you for property insurance as soon as they're under contract. That gives you more time to create the most advantageous total risk package for them that provides them the best coverage at the most affordable cost.
Absolutely. Don't
And
wait until the
Stephanie,
inspection's done. Do it as
okay.
soon as you're under contract.
And when people come to you and they're now say, okay, Stephanie, I need to talk to you about property insurance. What materials should they be prepared with when they come to you?
So they should have they should know or gather their personal information, their name, their birth date, their social security number. Why social security number? Almost every carrier that I'm aware of looks at credit as part of your insurance score. Now, why
Really?
they may not necessarily, what's that?
I said, really? I was
Oh,
unaware that
yeah,
the insurance company would run your credit to establish property insurance. Wow. Okay.
right. Yeah. It says how responsible you are. It's not going to, affect your credit. So don't worry about that. We know you're shopping, you're getting a loan. The insurance part's not going to set up, but that does play into what your premium is and why. So it is important to give that if you're asked for it. Not all carriers will, but that's definitely a tool that we use. And then, of course, getting your any current information you have. If you have a current declarations page, if you're getting other quotes, but that personal information is going to be the number one questions.
Okay. So let's shift gears for a moment. And how often? So let's say that, because oftentimes in the real estate world, people are looking at homeowners insurance when they're buying a new home. But in reality, people are living in homes for 7, 10, 15, or longer years now. And I don't know about you, but most people can't wear the same pants that they wore in high school. So maybe they should be looking at updating their insurance. How often should people go through a review of their total insurance world?
I do love that. Not everything fits year after year, right? And you're right. Same thing for the insurance. So look every year. Have your agent review it. You look over it yourself. Does everything still kind of make sense? Is there anything on your policy that you say, I don't own that anymore? I have jewelry. I don't see the jewelry. Just kind of give a general question. Um, if you don't do it every year, because sometimes that's a little bit overwhelming to people, it's a little daunting. Get it, insurance is boring. It's not very cool, but it would behoove you to look every year, at least every 2 years, if you're not doing it every year.
Stephanie, you and I, we go through our insurance every, I believe it's November. And
Mhm.
we review the carriers, we review the coverages, we review the number of drivers on our policy. We talk about the home value. Has it increased? I mean, oftentimes, I'm guessing companies change the benefits that they offer. They change the costs for that. They sometimes your needs change. There's a lot of change that happens over time. So meeting with you, I know Lori and I do this, and it is invaluable. And we haven't changed much in the last couple of years, but a few years ago, probably 5 years ago, we made some big changes, and it changed my comfort level if something bad happened. And so you go to the doctor every year, you go to the dentist a couple times a year. Why not get your insurance looked at, right? When I
Absolutely. You
have
need
an
that
annual
health
review, is there a
checkup. And
moment I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh no, you just that it was a very good analogy. It's a health checkup of your insurance world. You might have more assets now or less assets where it's just a good overall checkup.
Sure. Okay, so now we've talked about common mistakes that people make with insurance. We've talked about how early in the process should people be shopping for property insurance, how often they should have their overall insurance reviewed. Um, let's shift gears to Stephanie. Describe to everybody out there, what is your approach or your philosophy when it comes to overall insurance?
Overall insurance, I say, is protection versus premium.
Whoa,
I
say that.
know premium is important, money's going out, but if something happens, what kind of money's coming in?
Protection is more important than premium. Is it safe
Absolutely.
to say, Stephanie, that when we are writing the check for the premium or it's on auto draft, which I highly recommend so you don't risk a lapse, but if because that would be horrible. Um,
Right.
if we think about every month we're paying into auto insurance, homeowners insurance,
Mhm.
umbrella policy, etc. And sometimes it's difficult, especially now inflation's a thing, cost of living's up. But let's talk about the protection side, not the premium side. And when somebody has a catastrophic event, a fire, their car's totaled, whatever else it might be, the premium is what they pay to the insurance company, but the protection is the money the insurance company pays to your policyholder.
Correct.
So when you go and hand somebody an insurance proceeds check to cover against loss, has anybody ever said to you, "Oh, Stephanie, this is way too much money. I cannot accept it"? Has
No,
it happened?
has never happened.
Okay.
I might just do that. I might laugh if that ever happened.
Has the opposite ever happened? Where
Yes.
they think, "Oh, wait a minute, but it's going to cost this much more to get the car replaced." I'm guessing that's not a fun conversation.
It's not. That's everything that I personally and every trusted, agent that I know strives to. Is That's the whole reason for insurance, is to put you back where you were before the loss, to indemnify you.
Okay.
That's what I strive to do. I never want you to be without or have less than what you started. But unfortunately, in some cases, for whatever reason, it's happened and it will always continue to happen. And that's a sad day
It
for me.
is. And to the viewers out there, there's a really important thought process in this, and that is, as much as making that insurance premium might hurt in the current month, there's money you can save by not going to Starbucks every day, or not eating out to dinner a couple times a week, or lunch, not going through the drive-through. There's a lot of hidden pockets where you can shave money to increase your premium that increases your protection. True or false?
True.
Absolutely. Everybody has the opportunity. And I mean, I can say from personal experience, I grew up in a house that burned down. It was rough. My parents properly insured, life was great. Hard. One of my best friends, he lost a rather sizable area, and he turned me on to or mentioned that I need to talk to you, and you introduced several strategies like ALE and a few others. Completely changes the game. So I agree with you 100%. Protection is more important than premium. Stephanie, when people are looking at an insurance overview, whether it's property insurance, but we know after listening to you and me today, they're going to want to talk about homeowners, auto, boat, umbrella policy. They're going to want to talk about it all. How long does an appointment typically take? Because right now people are saying, "I need to talk to Stephanie." How long should they plan on meeting with you?
Really, I mean, it depends on what you have and maybe the areas of concern if you have questions. But if you just say, "Hey, I just want to see if I can do better. What do you have?" The phone call is really quick. Again, you're going to send me your declarations pages. So those are the pages that show your coverages, limits, deductibles, everything. I need that for the whole health of your policy to compare, make sure I get everything you have, note differences. But with those already over to me, our phone call is going to be no more than 15 minutes. It's really 8 to 10 minute phone call.
Okay. So really, somebody needs to, number one, accept the fact that insurance changes. Your coverages, the needed coverage changes. They need to review things with a seasoned veteran of 19 years that really has a lot of experience at building packages to protect people. And it's kind of like going to the doctor. They need to be able to show all of their current information, just like you go to the doctor. The best news is when they meet with you, they get to keep their clothes on.
You do.
Little humor out there for everybody. Want to make sure you're paying attention and listening. But the more complete information that people bring you, the better job you can do for them. Correct?
Exactly. Don't withhold because you think I'm not going to give you my best if I see what you have. That's not how I play. That's not how most agents play. We need to do the best coverages have different names with carriers. It's
Mm.
same thing, but different names. Again, there's things you may not know that you're even missing. So I need that full health book, the whole spectrum to see what we're really looking at,
So
just like
this
you would
actually opens
your
up
doctor.
another question, and that is when people come to meet with you to look over their entire insurance package,
Mhm.
and if they do not disclose everything to you, they don't have the declarations page, they don't provide social security number, all these other things, they don't bring you a complete package
Right.
for you to do your magic. What are some of the things that can happen that can go wrong?
Well, a lot can go wrong, right? One, again, I'm doing a disservice to you possibly if you have scheduled jewelry that I don't know. You didn't tell me, but it's on your declarations page. I don't see it best. Um, if you have a driver that you didn't tell me about, but is on your declarations page, and we write you a new policy, they get an accident, that now may not be covered on my policy because I don't have them rated. Um,
Mm.
there's a lot of different pitfalls. Again, you could be missing out on discounts, or you might have a different discount with your current carrier that somehow I can get or can't get. You just might be missing out and or even be denied a claim if things aren't all kosher.
Is there anything more troubling for you as a total risk manager when a claim is denied because the policyholder did not disclose everything?
Yes,
There's nothing more
it's
painful, is
very
there?
frustrating. I can't ask every question in the world. I try to ask the most, again, to be very comprehensive, to be very as detailed as I can. Um, but sometimes just talking and having it out. And some people do withhold information on purpose. Some don't know they should tell an insurance agent. So feel free to talk, chat. If you don't know if it affects your insurance, tell us anyways. We will determine. No, I don't really need to know that, or oh, thank you. That changes everything.
And maybe I like to believe that insurance companies are ready, willing, and able to pay on claims that are justifiable and within the definitions of the policy. Well, if you don't give the proper input, you just might not get that payment, and then your premiums were for nothing, correct?
Right. I mean, if I see it a lot,
That's
people
hard.
will not disclose drivers, say they have a certain type of roof to get the discount. Well, those carriers, one, they're really checking up on agents, so they are requiring proof. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't just say, hey, yes, my kid has good grades. I have a new roof. More and more, you're having to prove it because there has been so much, whether it was intentional or not, there was misleading information that got you a great premium, but that was not premium you may have deserved.
So, kind of like Michael Jackson, back with the Jackson Five, one bad apple can ruin the whole bunch. So we had some people that lied, they didn't disclose, and now the industry has shifted to show me the truth, and then we'll pay you. And it's unfortunate, but
Show
if you
me
have
the proof.
nothing to hide, it's okay. Okay, last two things. Not all homeowners insurance is the same. What couple of strategies do you feel are overlooked by other agents?
So definitely not asking for the auto. Again,
Okay.
I know when we get those new home buyers, they say, I just want to look at home. I just want to look at home. I don't want to push them and be annoying and be that person, but I'm going to kind of insist a little bit more where some other agents may just say, oh, home only. There's huge benefits that we've already talked about to bundling or at least looking to getting um, autos and home within the same agency. Sometimes we can still get a little bit of a discount, so just
And I think
asking for the auto
what
as
you're
well.
really saying, yeah, not asking for the auto. Um,
Mhm.
Really, at the end of the day, you take a holistic approach. a full circle all the way around their life approach to see where can I save you some money while providing the same coverage, or where can I get you more coverage for the same amount of money? And at
Right.
the end of the day, I guess, and maybe this will resonate, maybe it won't, but if somebody doesn't know what type of benefits can be gleaned by working with you, then they don't know. You only know
Right.
if you ask and you provide and you have a full disclosure. And only then can you do your best. And maybe you can't save them anything. I mean, yes, I think that when you're off camera, you probably have a cape and look like Wonder Woman, but because you do save people every day with against financial loss. But if someone doesn't know, well, shame on them. They need to know. They need to go look. And if there's not a savings, well, okay, at least now you know.
Right.
Okay, so Stephanie, first of all, I can't thank you enough for all the things you've done for our family and things you've done for our real estate buyers. What I want to do now is basically give everybody the opportunity. How does somebody who needs a total risk manager for all of their insurance needs, how do they get a hold of Stephanie Schuenauer?
You know, simply call.
What's your phone number?
My cell phone number is 303-834-2911. You know, if I
Hold on,
don't
hold on,
answer,
hold on.
leave me a
Can
message.
you give that to me again?
I can. It is 303-834-2911.
All right. Some people are dyslexic. Think we need to give it to them twice.
It happens. You know,
Stephanie,
if you're not
you
a
are
phone person, you can email me as well,
okay.
Wade.
And what's your email address?
So it's my first name, Stephanie, STEPHANIE at buycoloradoinsurance.com. And
That's
buy is like purchase. So you got it.
BUY coloradoinsurance.com.
Yes.
Fantastic. Stephanie, I can't thank you enough for joining us today. There are people out there that are underinsured, that are unknowing of whether they should or should not. It can be a little bit of a black box of uncertainty and confusion, and therefore it gets avoidance behavior. But I would urge everybody, take a look, because accidents happen every single day. Just turn on the news. There are wildfires all over this country right now. And if you're not insured properly, there's going to be a much more painful day ahead of you by not paying the extra premium or not meeting with Stephanie to learn how could you be more properly covered. Okay, Stephanie, anything else you want to add and share to the people out there?
Just arm yourself with knowledge. Like Wade said, you don't know what you don't know. So go seek, ask, look. It doesn't
Awesome.
hurt.
Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us. This is Stephanie Schuenauer. She is the total risk manager that we endorse and we refer to our clients. You should meet with her too. Thank you for watching this episode of Green and Growing, where we're giving you everything that we can to help your life be better and to avoid being ripe and rotting. Looking forward to seeing you all next time. We hope you enjoyed today's episode of Green and Growing. Don't miss out on future episodes. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast, and connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube for exclusive updates. Your engagement helps us to continue to provide valuable insights to our growing community. And remember to stay green and growing. Thanks for watching.